friends. Welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia, and I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School. But here for Teaching in Room 9, all of my lessons focus on math for second graders. Welcome back, friends. Thank you so much for taking time to be here with me. I'm really excited that I get the chance to be here together with you, and I can't wait for us to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start with our Mindful Minute exercise. For our Mindful Minute exercise today, I'd like you to go ahead and grab something that you can write with. All right, and as my friends are heading back, I would like you to, either on your piece of paper, maybe you're writing with a dry erase board or a sheet protector, I'd like you to draw a figure 8 that is laying on its side. This is also called the infinity symbol. So what we're going to do, friends, is we are going to take some really deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And as you're taking those deep breaths in and out, you're going to use your pointer finger to trace your figure 8. See if you can slow your breathing down enough that you are able to inhale, tracing this side of your 8, and exhale, tracing this side here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Go ahead and sit up nice and straight and tall, so this way you really open up your airways. Try to relax your body and your muscles, let go of any tension that you might be feeling, and take a deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale out your mouth. Okay, let's begin. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out and tracing your 8. Really focus on that 8 and your breathing. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to those deep breaths in and out as you go around and around, tracing your 8. When you are ready, friends, you may set this down, and we are all finished for today. Nicely done, friends. I hope that you are feeling really calm, centered, focused, and ready to learn here with me. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our learning objectives for this week. I have a feeling some of my friends probably already guessed that this week we are going to be learning about money and going over all the different coins. We've been so focused on working our way through addition and subtraction, 2 digits, 3 digits, with and without regrouping. So I wanted to make that connection to coins. So our learning goal this week is going to be I can find combinations of coins that equal to a given amount. So we're going to be working with these 4 coins here, putting them together to see if we have enough money to pay for certain items. And we'll just be focusing on money this week. So I'd like to go ahead and start with a warm-up for your math brain. So you already have something to write with, so you should be good to go. We're going to incorporate the number of the day warm-up that we had done before, but I just want to get your math brains moving and that blood pumping to your brain and see, what do you already know about math, money, and coins? Maybe you're super familiar with the coins already. Maybe you kind of remember some, but don't remember all of them. That's totally fine. We're here to stretch our brains, friends, and we're going to be working on this all week. So we're going to do our number of the day, but we're also going to incorporate some money math as well. All right, friends. So your number of the day today is 32. If you'd like to go ahead and write this down on your paper at home, you may, and then that way you have it there. Easy to go as we work with this number in a lot of different ways. So we've written down 32. I'd like you to write 32 in expanded form. So 32 in expanded form. It's expanded out to show the value of each place. Are you ready? Let's hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, friends. I know that we practiced this a lot. You're getting really good at that. 32 is a 3 in the tens, and its value is 30. Plus, we always have that plus sign in expanded form, 2 for our ones. So 30 plus 2 gives us a value of 32. Nicely done. All right, now I'd like you to write 32 in word form. So try your very best with spelling, sound it out. It's good for us to practice these word forms, make sure that we know how to write our numbers. Okay, 32. Are you ready? 3, 2, nicely done. I can see that some of my friends got it right. This one's kind of tricky. You hear that th and then bossy R, but a lot of the times my friends get tricked up on this. It sounds like 30 and it's actually 30. So that T-Y and then 2 T-W-O. All right. Now, friends, I'd like you to draw 32 using base 10 blocks. All right, are you ready, friends? Okay, hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. This should be really easy for us since we've been practicing this for so long. We've got 3 straight down lines. These are our 3 tens rods. 10, 20, 30, and then 1, 2 for our ones. Nicely done, friends. All right. Now, this is where I might stretch your brain a little bit. I want to know, what are some of the different ways that we can make 32 cents? Maybe try to draw out 32 cents in one of the ways that you can think of. Okay, 32 cents. What are some of the different ways we can come up with 32 cents? All right, I've come up with 2, and we'll talk about some of the different ones as well. Okay, friends. So the first thing I drew here is 3 coins that are worth 10 cents. The coin that is worth 10 cents is called a dime. So we've got 3 tens. Will you help me skip count by tens? All right, 10, 20, 30, and then there are 2 coins that are worth 1 cent. This coin is called a penny. So 10, 20, 30, 1, and 2. So one way we could make 32 cents is with 3 dimes and 2 pennies. Another way that we could make 32 cents is using this big coin here with a 25 cents in it, and it's called a quarter. A quarter is worth 25 cents. So 25, then you see this little guy here has a 5 in it. The coin that is worth 5 cents is called a nickel. Then again, you see 2 pennies here as well. And pennies again are worth 1 cent. So 25 plus 5 would be 30, 32. So 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies is another way that we could come up with 32 cents. Well done, friends. I can tell some of my friends are already familiar with coins, and that is amazing. If not, no worries. We're going to stretch our brains here together, practice all week. Some of the other ways that you can come up with 32 cents is you could always have 32 pennies. And then another thing you could do would be 6 nickels. Again, those nickels are worth 5 cents. So if we had 6, let's skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 6 nickels and 2 pennies. That is one of my favorite things about math, friends, or money math, is the fact that there are like endless ways that we can put coins together in order to get different amounts. So let's go ahead and review our chart here and going over some of those different coins. So for my friends that maybe need a little bit of a refresher with coins. All right, so we've got coins in the center here. We talked about this one up here is called penny. I see you say penny. Nice. A penny is worth 1 cent. So here you see front and back of your penny. So I've labeled them on each of there with their pictures, each of them with the pictures, and then I also wrote heads and tails, because I'm guessing that some of my friends at home probably flipped a coin before in order to try to solve a tricky decision. So if you say, I call heads, that means I call the front of the coin, because the front of the coin is where the head is. And then if you say, I call tails, the tail is on the back of the coin, just the way a tail is on the back of an animal. So heads, front, tails, back. And again, a penny is worth 1 cent. When you're writing it out in dollar form, you'll have a dollar sign with a 0. Then you have that decimal point. Anything on this side of the decimal point is the dollar amount. Anything on this side of the decimal point, that is your change or the cents. Another thing about pennies is they are copper. They're the only coin that is that color. And then you can see Abraham Lincoln is the president that is on the penny. And on the back is the Lincoln Memorial. And it also says on the back, 1 cent. And here is an actual penny for you to see, which I'm sure you've probably seen these before. But you can see Abraham Lincoln there on the front. It's copper, it's small. You can see the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and it says 1 cent. So this is what a penny looks like. All right, now we're gonna go over to this nickel here. I see you say nickel. Nicely done. So here's our heads, our front, our tails, our back. And on the front of this one is Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson is going to be on your nickel on the front, and on the back is Monticello. And that's where Thomas Jefferson lived. So a nickel is worth 5 cents. And so when you're writing it in dollars, you would write a dollar sign, a 0, a decimal point, and then you'd write 0.5 to show 5 cents. It's silver, unlike our copper penny, and it's medium in size, and it says 5 cents on the back of the nickel. So here is our penny. Here is a nickel. You can see Thomas Jefferson there in the front. You can see it's nice and shiny and silver. On the back is Monticello there. And it says, small at the bottom, you might not be able to see, but it says 5 cents. And here is how big it is in comparison to the penny. So we can see that that nickel is a little bit larger than the penny there for sure. All right, so we've done nickel and penny. Now we're gonna come down to this dime. I see you say dime. Nice, friends. All right, a dime is worth 10 cents. And so if you are writing a dime in dollars, you will write the dollar sign, the 0 with a period, or not a period, a decimal point. And then because 10 cents is a 2-digit number, it's going to just say your decimal point and then a 10 to show there's 10 cents. It is also silver. It is the smallest in size. So our dime is going to be our smallest coin. It has Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, and then on the back, it says 1 dime there at the bottom. So I will show you a dime. Looks like this, which I know you've probably seen these before, but here is our dime. Oh, he's upside down. There's Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. He's very shiny, small, and then on the back, same as that picture there, it says 1 dime. And then in just comparison, here we go. We've got our copper penny, always easy to distinguish because of its color. And then we've got the silver nickel with Thomas Jefferson. And then this dime here on the end with Franklin D. Roosevelt. You can see it's by far our smallest coin. It's almost the size of the penny, but not quite. It's still a little bit smaller. It's our smallest coin. And then our last coin, friends, is the quarter. I say you say quarter. Nice. A quarter is worth 25 cents. So if you are writing it out in dollars, you would have your dollar sign, your 0, your decimal point, and then 25 to show 25 cents. It is large in size. It is the largest coin. We have George Washington, our first president, on the front, where it says heads front. Here's George Washington. And then on the back, it says $quarter. Quarters have changed a lot over time. There are a lot of different states quarters that have the different states and images that represent those states on the back. The traditional ones look just like this. So you'll see both of them are still in circulation. And on the back of our quarter, it says $quarter. Why do you think it would say $quarter on the back of a quarter? Yeah, I'm hearing some friends say because it's a quarter. Yes, of course, because it is a quarter. But it also is a quarter because it is 1/4 of a dollar. And that's why it says $quarter. If you are wondering about what a quarter is, it is 1/4 of a dollar. So we're kind of getting into fractions there, which might be a little bit tricky. But all you need to know is that 4 of these quarters come together to make $1. So just one is a $quarter because it is 1/4 of a dollar. And you can see our quarter here. There's George Washington. And then on the back, mine is not a traditional one. This is a state one. So it's got a different image there on the back. So again, a quarter, 25 cents. Let's show all of our coins here together so you can see how they look in size next to each other. All right, so penny, 1 cent. Nickel, 5 cents. Dime, this is our smallest one. It is 10 cents. And lastly, we have our quarter worth 25 cents. Nicely done, friends. All right, I have a little chant or poem that I would like to teach you to help you when you are trying to distinguish between the different coins. All right, so I'm gonna say each part and then you're gonna repeat after me. And if you don't pick up on it just yet, no worries, we'll practice it together this week. All right, so the first one is, penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown and worth 1 cent. All right, let me hear you, friends. Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown and worth 1 cent. Nice. All right, come to the nickel next. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents. I know that. Ready? Let me hear you nice and loud. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents. I know that. Nicely done. All right, come down to the dime, friends. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. Let me hear you nice and loud. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. Last one, our quarter. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. All right, let me hear it nice and loud. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Nicely done, friends. So those are our 4 coins that we are going to be working with. And we'll practice our chant each day. We'll go over our chart each day to help us when we are solving for different amounts. All right, friends. So now I'm going to hold up a card and it's going to have a certain amount of money on it. And you're going to help me decide how much money is it. There'll be 3 different options on the bottom. So we'll decide which one it is. All right, so we're gonna see too, do we have enough money to buy a pack of gum? And our pack of gum is worth $1.50. So we wanna know, do we have enough money to buy a pack of gum? All right, ready, friends? Here is our card. Okay. So we see the silver coins on here. I don't see any copper pennies. Do you see any copper pennies? Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any copper pennies. So I'm seeing these 3 bigger coins. What's that big coin again? Oh, I heard a friend say that is a quarter. Well done. And how much is a quarter worth again? You're worth 25, I am told. Oh, that's right. Thank you. So 25, 25, and 25. What is that? So I know that 4 quarters makes $1 because we talked about that. So let's see, how much does 2 quarters make, or how much is the amount of 2 quarters? So here's 25 cents and 25 cents. So I know my friends are amazing at 2-digit addition and subtraction and 3 digits too. So let's go ahead and just practice it and see how we do. 5 and 5 is how much? Yes, 5 and 5 is 10. So I put my 0 here for my ones and carry my 10 so it goes with its 10 friends. 2 and 1 and 2. So we've got 2 and 2 is 4, and then that extra 1 is 5. And then I carry my decimal point down to show that it is 50 cents. So 2 quarters is worth 50 cents. Nicely done. Maybe you already knew that, but I just wanted to show you just so we knew for sure that 2 quarters is 50 cents. Now I want to know how much 3 quarters is worth. So I'm going to do 50 cents plus another quarter. So we can figure out how much those 3 quarters are worth. 5 plus 0 is, you got it, 5. And 5 plus 2 is, yes, 75. 3 quarters is worth 75 cents. So 1 quarter, 25. 2 quarters is 50 cents. 3 quarters is 75 cents. And 4 quarters is $1. Nice, friends. So back to this card here. We've got 3 quarters. So I know we have 75 cents. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this top part here, friends. So we know we've got 75 cents in quarters. And then I see this small coin up in the corner here. What's our smallest silver coin? Or really our smallest coin in general? Oh, I heard a friend say it is a dime. You are absolutely right. So what is 10 more than 75? We should be so good at this by now with all that work we've done on number lines and our number of the day warm-ups. 10 more than 75 is 85. Nicely done. So we've got 3 quarters worth 75 cents. Then we have a dime worth 10 cents, which gave us 85 cents. And then I see this coin here in the middle. Which coin is this, friends? Yes, I heard a friend say a nickel. Yes, a nickel is worth how much? Yes, a nickel is worth 5 cents. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat, you're worth 5 cents. I know that. So what is 5 more than 85? Yes, I heard a friend say 90 cents. Well done, friends. So looking at our card here again, we've got 3 quarters, 25, 50, 75, 1 dime, 85, 1 nickel, 90 cents. So you can see we've got 3 choices here at the bottom. 85, nope. 75, nope. It is 90 cents. Well done, friends. So we figured out we have 90 cents. Is that enough for our stick of gum or a pack of gum that is worth $1.50? You can give me a yes or a no. Is 90 cents enough to get this pack of gum that's worth $1.50? Yeah, I'm hearing some friends say, nope, unfortunately not. We do not have enough to get our pack of gum. But I want to take it a step further, friends, and see how much more do we need to get that $1.50. So we have, here's how much we need. And in order to find the difference, I am going to subtract. So here's how much I need, and here is how much I have. I want to know what is the difference so that maybe I can go home. I'm so motivated to get this gum, and maybe I can go home and do some chores or look in the couch at home and try to see if I can scrounge up the rest of that change that I need. So let's go ahead and subtract $1.50, take away 90 cents. So 0 and 0 is 0. We know that. 9, take away from 5. Oh, more on the floor. Go next door. So I take away from my dollar. Now I have 0 here, and I bring that over here. So now I have 15. 9 or 15, take away 9. One way we could solve this, unless you know right off the top of your head, is you could count up 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nicely done, friends. So I need a total of how much more? Yes, I need 60 cents more if I want to get that stick of gum or that pack of gum. Well done, friends. All right, I think we have enough time to do one more practice for today. Hopefully this is making sense to your brain, and with more and more practice, practice makes progress. So we know that we will be able to get it here together. All right, here's our next card, friends. Okay, so I do see some copper pennies in here. Do you see any quarters? Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. So it's our biggest coin. How many quarters do you see? Will you hold it up on your fingers? Nice. I'm seeing some friends holding up 1 quarter. We have 1 quarter, and it is right there, friends. 1 quarter. So we've got 25 cents. Okay, I'm going to just sort of write down here our amounts, and then we can add them together. Do you see any dimes? Dimes. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. How many dimes do you see? Hold it up on your fingers. Yes, there is 1 dime. So 25 cents for the quarter. 1 dime is 10 cents. And then do you see any nickels? How many nickels do you see? Yes, 1 nickel as well. You are a rock star, friends. Okay, so we've got 1 nickel, and I definitely see some copper in there, so I know we've got some pennies. How many pennies do you see? Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. Hold it up in your fingers, friends. How many do we see here? 3. 3 pennies. Nicely done, friends. All right, so I've got all of these amounts here, so I need to add them together. Okay, 25 and 10. What is 10 more than 25? Nice and loud. Yes, 10 more than 25 is 35. Well done, friends. All right, now let's add 5 to that because that's going to give me a nice friendly number. So 35 plus 5 is 40 cents, absolutely. So now we've done these 3. Now I just need to add 3 more cents, and that would give me a total of 43 cents. So it is not 63 or 34. We have here 43 cents. Still not enough for that pack of gum, unfortunately. All right, friends, thank you so much for all of your hard work. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.